This is Austin Real Estate Investing.
Austin Real Estate Investing.
We'll be discussing real estate investing in Austin, Texas, and bringing you experts from all different sectors of the real estate game. Your host, Jordan Moorhead, is a real estate agent and investor in Austin and is here to help you get started or to build your portfolio and explore new strategies.
Hi, this is Austin Real Estate Investing. This is Jordan Moorhead, and today I've got Edgar Torres here, who's involved with almost everything to do with real estate here in Austin, and he's going to tell you all about that and then all about himself. Hey, Edgar, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Jordan. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm really, really excited. This is my first podcast.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We really love to hear your story here, and I'm excited to learn more about you. Can you tell us real quick, just in a nutshell, who you are, how you ended up in Austin, and then how you're involved with real estate investing?
Okay, again, my name is Edgar Torres. I end up in Austin. I want to do a lifestyle change where it was hotter, meaning like the weather more warm, because I used to live in Maryland, and in Maryland it was cold. A lot of cold, and I lived there for 15 years. Then my brother, he moved first here into Austin about 2012, 11, something like that. So I visited Austin a few times. I didn't like at the beginning because I was more in the Manor area, and it was when Manor was nothing. Didn't have anything over there, so it was the dried out season. So I didn't like it for about 4 years. Then my brother, he took me to places around Austin, the north side, the west side, south side, the Salt Lake, the Lake Travis, the 360. Oh my God. So I fell in love with Austin since then. Yeah. But yeah, it's wonderful here. I love it.
Yeah, it is. I feel your pain. I spent a few years in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So very cold. Not as much going on as Austin, and absolutely refreshing to move to a place like Austin. Everything's going on. The place is growing like crazy, and it doesn't really have a winter. So that's also awesome.
Correct. Yes. The first year I moved here, it was September, and it was turning gray, and I started getting chills because my body was telling me the winter is coming, but the winter never came.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Edgar, how are you involved with real estate investing here in Austin? I know we talked a little bit before this, and it sounds like you're doing quite a bit, but could you just tell our listeners what you do here in Austin and how you're involved in real estate?
So, yes, and it will come along with the moving to Austin. When I moved here, I moved from Maryland, and I was doing flips and wholesale over there, rentals. Then I moved to Austin, and people asked me, do you have any contacts? Do you have any resources? And I didn't. I didn't have any resources. I didn't have no contacts. I didn't know the market. It was great. So my game plan when I moved here, it was like, okay, I want to do flips, right? Because that was what I can do the best. My background is in construction, and I done flip before. And I was like, okay, for me to find a flip, it would take me about 2 to 3 months. And it would take me another 4 months to 6 months to fix it, and like 2 months to sell it, right? So it would be a total of 8 months to carry a project. And I was like, well, I don't think that's going to be the best, because how am I going to be making money in the meantime? 8 months without income? I was like, nope, I don't think that's going to be the best. So what the first thing when I moved here, I put my house, my apartment in place with my wife. From then I started working. The first week, I landed into a very, very, very good deal. And I wholesale the property. It was a very interesting deal where the owner was in Mexico. He wasn't able to come back to the U.S. The wife wasn't here. They were losing the house. They already gave up on the property. So long story short, I end up in Mexico, taking this guy to the USA Embassy to sign the documents. And that was my first deal in Austin.
Wow.
That's very, very, very short version of the deal. Yeah.
So you went to Mexico,
Yes.
took him to the embassy and got him to sign the documents. So you really went to any lengths to get that first contract signed.
Yes, I put about $20,000 on the property without guarantees, but it was a risk I took, and I did very well on that first deal. So since then, I like you asked me what I've been doing here in Austin, and I focused into wholesaling the first, I think, 6 months when I moved to Austin in 2018. Then I got an opportunity to do a quick flip, paint, countertops, change flooring. I think that was it. Did great. It was a really quick flip and make like $20,000. And at the time, I have a partner, and he was asking Edgar, why we don't have any wholesale this month? And I told him because we were focusing to the flip. So that's one of the things that also is not easy to deal when you have you doing everything yourself, right? When you do the flip and you do the marketing, you doing the call, you doing the management on the contractors. Mm-hmm. So that was the combination at the beginning, more into wholesaling, and the flips were coming along the process, what I was establishing my business here in Austin.
Okay. And you said you've done a couple other things too. So, you said something about you've done some buy and hold. You've just gotten some lots to build on. And then you also mentioned an RV park. I'd love to learn more about the RV park part.
Right. So one of the things I can tell the people who are going to be watching or they're watching right now is it's good to have, like they say, you want to focus into something, focus totally into the project that you're doing, right? You want to do wholesale, you do wholesale. You want to do flip, you do flips. It's good, right? But in this market, Austin market is very, very different than other markets. I hear people, when I moved here, that they try to do wholesale and they didn't have success, right? Because that was the only thing they were focusing. And I started, already my background in the real estate was into rentals, the flipping and wholesale. So I had the experience. So when I moved here and I see the same thing, I see the opportunity and I took it. I closed on a manufactured home in December, and it had a 1.5 acre lot in Del Valle. So I got that one and I fixed it, and I was supposed to rent it for about $1,700, and I ended up renting it for $2,000. Very, very large manufactured home, 2,500 square foot. Whoa. Manufactured home, and it's sitting on 1.5 acres. So that's one of the lots I'm looking also to develop into RVs. But next to that lot, I got another property that right now has one single family, 2 tiny homes, and 6 RV pads for RVs. Which the tiny homes and the single family, they're not in the best conditions. Mm-hmm. So I'm mating right now into what to do with those, like wipe them out and just do the whole RV. But according to the engineers I talked to and the designers, the lot will hold about 20 pads for RVs, which is not a huge RV park, but I think it's a great beginning for somebody like me that I didn't have any experience on that. And people ask me, hey, do you know anything RVs? And I told my investor, because I have private investors, I told them, no, I don't know anything. But I want to figure it out myself. There's a consultant or somebody referred to me, and I've been reaching out to him for about 10 times. I haven't got any answer from him. So since there's no one who's going to really guide me into this, I want to do it myself. The same way I done flip, the same way I done wholesale, is the same thing, the same way I want to do this, because I think I have some mentors, but at the end of the day, I was the one who doing the performing of the process.
Sure. Yeah, that's really cool. So you're thinking you can maybe take it from 6 to 8 units, or sorry, you say 9 to 20.
Have you wanted to be part of GoBundance, the tribe of millionaires, but just haven't hit that millionaire status yet? Well, now you can, not even being a millionaire, by joining our new program, GoBundance Emerge. My name's Jamie Gruber, creator of GoBundance Emerge and member of the GoBundance community. And now you can join GoBundance.com/emerge, GoBundance.com/emerge. Use code Jordan for $100 off this 12-week goal-setting program and mastermind that'll propel you to being a whole life millionaire.
Yes, there are 6 paths right now, six spaces for RVs.
Yep.
But the 2 tiny homes and 1 single family. So according to the designers, I can remove the tiny homes, the single family, and use start from scratch, because on the property there are 2 septic tanks.
Oh.
That more likely they will hold about 14 units, 14 RVs. But to maximize the space, I think I need to relocate the septic, and I need to remove a water well that is in the property to maximize the space on the property, and I can connect from the city, water from the city, and I can relocate the septic on a better location where is better fit for the design on the RV layout.
Cool. That sounds awesome. Where is that property in the Austin area, if you don't mind me asking?
It's in Del Valle.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, you said that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
So Edgar, I know you came down here. You said your brother was here, correct?
My brother, yeah, he's in here. Now I have like 3 brothers here and my sister. So most of my family is here now in Austin. Yeah.
So why did you guys choose to come to Austin? What initially drew him to Austin?
So his wife, my sister-in-law, she grew up here in Austin.
Oh.
We're original from Mexico. A place called San Luis Potosí, right in the middle of Mexico.
Okay.
And she grew up here, and she had all her family. So he was living in Austin, Baltimore with us. In 2012, the wife was in Baltimore, and after they get married, they moved there. But they want to come back here to Austin because of the weather, the culture, the food, the accessibility to Mexico. You can go on any day you want from here to Mexico, and it's pretty easy to travel. Versus in Baltimore, it would take a whole day just to travel from places to places.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a little bit better located to get to central Mexico than Baltimore, that's for sure.
Correct, yeah.
So you were doing some real estate investing in Baltimore. What attracted you to real estate investing?
So when I moved to Baltimore, I was 17 and I went to high school for 2 years. Then I graduated from high school, not speaking English. Right. I learned English through a sales company I worked for. It was a network marketing, MLM. Mm-hmm. And that's what I learned about entrepreneurship. That's what I learned my English. And when I was in high school, I started working on hanging drywall. And I was 19 when I started my first business, hanging drywall. And the guys who hired us, me and my brothers, I always remember going into their houses and see these really, really ugly houses, really bad houses in Baltimore. And we put drywall, and after we went back over there to do some other touch-ups after the finish, we see the house turning into a great properties. And I always envision myself into the same position as the boss who hired us to do the drywall. And I'm in contact with them still, with few of my customers, and I always appreciate them. And I'm very grateful that they hire me, and they didn't know that they were giving me that vision, but I told them, thank you for inspiring me into the real estate.
That's awesome. So were they flipping these houses, or were they holding them as rentals? Do you know?
One of them was doing work for other people. I think they were doing fixing the houses for Section 8. Some of them were for fix and sell. Some of them were for just buying holes. But there was all kinds of properties. Yep.
Cool. That's it. Yeah. So you started working on the properties, and you said, "Man, I should do this. This is a good idea." That's really cool, man.
Yeah, I always was looking for my way out to the regular those kind of business. Like when I was I'm still self-employed and I do most of the things myself, but hanging drywall, doing physical work, I think I did it for 7 years and it was hard.
Yeah.
So when people tell me that this is hard, the real estate world, I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't know what is hard to. This thing is easy. It's super easy. It's sometimes it's stressful, but it's simple.
Yeah, I think it's good to do hard work when you're younger. I did a lot of restoration work, so I tore out the drywall and cleaned up the mold and did stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to work hard and work long hours, and then you appreciate, like you're talking about, where we get to sit here and talk on Zoom. That's
Correct.
not very hard. This is not hard.
Yeah, that's when you ask me how I want to do this. I mean, you tell me what to do. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying working from home. Just wonderful times for my career. Yes. And you asked me how I started in real estate. So that was the beginning of my vision. Mm-hmm. But how I started was because I partnered with my best friend and we started a scaffold business in 2009. And after a few years saving money out of the business, we started buying real estate. I think it was 2012 when we bought. There were like 3 units that we bought. One of them I rehab it and we turned it into our office and training facility for a scaffold business that we had. We saved enough money to buy more properties, and that's how we started into the real estate. Funny thing that my partner didn't believe me at the time, and I was pushing, right? Because I was telling Henry, look, let's do real estate. And he was focusing to the scaffold business, which it was good. We went from 0 to 5 million in growth in 2 years.
Whoa.
At the age of 24. So it was pretty legit doing something like that with him. But I always see the opportunity in real estate, and also having the money, we have the savings. We didn't spend the money on crazy stuff that a 24-year-old boy would do with having responsibilities. So I think we did great, and we invest our money, and that's how we start.
That's awesome, man. So
Yeah.
you're making all this money in your business, and you said, "Hey, guy, Henry, your partner, let's invest this money." And you started to put it into real estate. So, that's unfortunately, there's all these books and programs out there that say you can do real estate with no or low money down, and you can. There's ways to do it, but it works a lot better if you have money. So if you have money, you can go buy a bunch of deals and get better deals than people that don't have any money and have to get real creative to find their deals. In my opinion, usually what I see.
Correct. I'm very good at studying, and I mean, I would say studying meaning like some books, right? No, like I didn't went to college and all that stuff. Yeah. But like that, no money down or no zero money to start flipping. I mean, to start into real estate, yes, it is true. But I mean, how many people start with that money, man? How many? Like, I think that's the book writers. That's a hook to sell their books, and that's I don't know who start with that money, man. I just don't.
I've actually gotten deals with very low money down after I've done a lot of deals putting money down, and then the deals just showed up that were the low money down deals. But I don't think I would have had those deals presented to me or those opportunities presented to me had I not shown that I can do deals and I'm going to close, I'm going to make your life easy.
Right. I done those deals also myself. I'm like, but many years in the career, right? And I feel like, oh, this is the deal that they mentioned that without money, you can buy a house, right? Mm-hmm. And I bought a house. I mean, I did a flip. I spent about $500,000 with the purchase and renovation here in Austin. And I didn't bring any of the money for the acquisition and the rehab. I have an investor who brought me the money. And I was like, oh, this is what they talk about, right?
Yeah.
But how much work it takes you to get into that state where people believe in you, the network that you have to create to believe in you, and you have to perform for people to really trust the money to you. Unless you are already successful in other careers or you're a good person and you have really good network, when you say, hey, I want to start real estate, give me I don't know, $100,000 and I'm going to invest it into it. I think that probably you can do it more likely, but it's not very often when people start real estate without money out of their pockets.
Yeah. There's lots of low down payment ways to get started, like via house hacking or buying a house to live in and fixing it up. But yeah, like you said, most people start with money, and then further down the road, they're able to not use their own money because they've shown, hey, I can do this. Here's my track record. So
yeah, and I mentioned about the business that we started when I was 24, and I had to do the math, but I bought my first property in 2009, and I had roommates on my property. So I was making all this money, but I was living on the low means. So I don't know how they say that, but I was living in the basement on the townhome I bought, and I rent the second floor to a family or roommates, right? And I was living in the basement, paying like $300 a month on my mortgage.
Yeah.
And I was, at the age of 24, I was making good money, but I didn't spend the money on nonsense stuff. I always been, I would say, smart on my money.
Yeah, that's the way to go, man. You got to make as much as you can, and then obviously save as much as you can. So if your expenses are high and your earnings are high, you end up zero. But if your earnings are real high, your expenses are really low, you've got a lot of extra to invest and grow.
Correct, yes.
So I love that. Edgar, you've seen a ton of deals. Sounds like you've done a ton of deals. Can you give us advice about a bad deal or how to avoid a bad deal that you see?
A bad deal, I would say a bad deal, the numbers will make sense when you buy, right? Mm-hmm. And when you start doing the flip, let's say we're talking about fix and flip, then you start probably removing walls, right? And how can you see that, right? That's gonna be something that you got to cut up on with experience, or have an extra caution on the renovation. But one of the, I would say, bad deal that I got into, this property, I was dealing with the owner, and he was an older gentleman, right? And all the time when I was dealing with him, there was the son with him at the property, and I thought everything was clear. The purchase price, the deposit, and everything was clear with him and the son. But for some reason, I felt something wasn't right. So I was always looking for the other people, the other kids for the owner, because there was a heirship or a will that the wife dies years before. Unfortunately, the house had to go for the kids. Mm-hmm. So I need to find the other two. I think there were two other kids involved in the transaction. So I was looking for them. I asked one of the brothers, and they never show up. And one day they show up on the property, and they were really, really mad that I was buying the property from the dad. The dad was losing the property, and I paid the money that I was owed to the bank to reinstate the account. The owner was losing the house, so I did that myself, but I didn't count on the age, the how old the owner was, which he was older than 65. And if somebody's older than 65, you need to have somebody representing them, or that, so he's very clear on the things. To my understanding, what the title company told me. And because the kids, there were no there, and the other one that was on the property wasn't really into the transaction, I got into an argument with the other kids, and they were not happy about the situation. And I mean, one of the advices when you're dealing with the older individuals, you got to make sure that somebody younger, or a son or somebody, can really be there on the transaction, because if something goes wrong, you might be in trouble. So it wasn't a fun transaction for me that time.
Yeah. So really, your two pieces of advice are make sure you have a cushion for your rehab budget. So I know a lot of people like to plan for 10 to 20% extra on their rehabs. And then when you're dealing with houses that are in probate, make sure you're talking to the right people. It sounds like you went through probate or he was going into foreclosure. An elderly guy who needed representation from his younger family, and they weren't all involved and ended up fighting in the end.
Hey guys, this is Jordan Moorhead here, and I wanted to ask if you could do a huge favor for me. If you could go leave a review for this podcast wherever you're listening to it, that would really help me get this into the hands of other people that are interested in information about Austin real estate investing, and I'd be able to help more people. Thanks, guys.
Right. Yes, to be more, yes. Yep. It wasn't a fun transaction, that one.
No.
And because I already invest money into the transaction. And yep.
Did you lose the money you invested?
I would not say I lose the money. The money is still attached to the property. I didn't want to pursue it or go to court to get my money, but I put a cloud on the title.
Yeah.
Whenever they want to sell the property, they have to give my money. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. So you'll get paid someday.
Yeah, I'm not worried. It was a good amount, but it doesn't bother me. It's part of doing business.
Yeah, that's a good attitude. What's one thing you tell a newer investor, Edgar, that's looking to get started, let's say, in flipping? If they want to get started flipping or wholesaling, what would you tell them?
Work on your relationships.
Okay.
Yeah. If somebody new or somebody old in the game, relationship is very, very important. Very, very important. Any kinds of relationship with the contractors, with the buyers, with the lenders, with people in the game, with all the wholesalers. Like right now, I've been working. I bought like 3 properties myself from other wholesalers, and other wholesalers bring me properties for me to sell to investors. So I'm very grateful with my relations that I create here in Austin and the relationships I had in previously in Baltimore. Like I have somebody reach out to me from Baltimore. Hey, I want to start wholesaling, and he's been doing this business already, wholesaling and that and flipping and rentals. Well, he's been focused more into rentals and flipping. And he said, Edgar, I want to start wholesaling. And I feel like, look, I'm not coaching anyone. Yeah. I don't have an assistant to coach. I don't have anything to show you. I mean, I know the things that I do, but I just don't have assistants. But I want you to coach me. I'm like, okay, let's do it then. Yeah. So, but because I had that relationship with this individual, he trusts on me. I'm like, bro, I mean, like, I don't have anything to teach you. He's like, yeah, but I want you to teach me. I'm like, okay, let's do it then. So I want to do more like a partnership with him versus like I'm coaching him. But yeah, the relationship is number one, I would say, in the business. Good relationships.
Yeah, real estate is a relationship business. You need to have good relationships. Like you said, if you want work done, you have to have good relationships with contractors. If you want to get deals, you have to have good relationships with wholesalers and realtors. And really, to do anything, you need good relationships with all of these people that are going to work for you, because there's a lot.
Right.
Title, lenders, wholesalers, contractors, painters, everything. So you need to keep all those people happy, and that's a job in itself a lot of times.
Exactly.
Yeah. Edgar, what's your best advice for people looking to invest in the Austin area?
What is the best advice you say?
For people looking to invest in the Austin area, what would you tell somebody that came to you and said, hey, I'm new, maybe I've invested before, but I'm looking to invest in the Austin area now?
To give me the money and I invest it for them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know at this point. I don't know what to tell them. Mm-hmm. I have to really, it will go case by case on what is their experience. Mm-hmm. And what they expect out of the Austin market. I have recently somebody reached out to me from Facebook, individual moving from Indiana, and Edgar, look, we've been doing flips here in Indiana, buying at 40, putting 30 into the property, but we're looking to buy lots in Austin, cheap lots for about $30,000. I'm like, bro, that's no way to find something like that here. And I mean, you can go probably in Bastrop or other places outside from Austin, but there's no way. So I told them how the market was. They started looking. They bought a lot, very good price here in Austin. They put in two homes, and one of the homes pre-sold before they finished it. They were planning to sell it for $375. They put on the contract for $475 or $495, something like that. So they wanna do great, right? But this individual, they already have experience, right, in the real estate. It's just the numbers that they were very, very different from Indiana to Austin. Then I have another individual that called me, very good friend of mine, and he called me, Edgar, I have like about $300,000 saved, and I wanted to go to Austin to start investing in real estate. And I mean, an individual like him that he doesn't have an idea about real estate, I don't really know what to tell him, because if I bring him into the Austin market and they invest in a house and they will not know how to manage the things here. I think it's risky for somebody who's new to come here and put that much money into a property. It's good market to sell, definitely. But I have to know what is the strategy or what they expect on the investing.
Yeah, I think that's important no matter what you're doing. Is you need to know what your goals are and what strategies you want to pursue. So if you want a lot of passive income, maybe you're not going out and buying flips.
Correct.
If you want to make a lot of money off a decent amount of money right now, maybe you're flipping and developing property. If you're trying to grow your money more quickly, flipping and developing can be great. But if you want that long-term money, you probably need to do buy and hold or invest with somebody like you. If they give you their money,
right,
get a return on their money and not have to do anything. So, like your friend with $300,000, maybe he's better off investing with somebody else rather than buying one house here himself, because he's not even going to get one house for that money. A down payment on a house.
Exactly. So again, it's case by case, based on people's experience, on goals, and it's not an easy market. But this is what I tell the people, right? Because a lot of people come and I have people tell me, Edgar, you came to Austin 5 years late. And I was driving in Austin when I moved here 3 years ago. And I was like, what are you talking about 5 years late? And being here 3 years, and I'm like, okay, Austin is growing. Instead of you being scared because of the growth, how expensive it gets, just take the opportunity and grow with Austin. That's my advice for anyone. We just take advantage of the growth and how you want to jump on the boat and grow with Austin and take advantage of this market. Yeah, the more that you bring to the market, the more the market is going to pay to you, like my mentor Jim Brown says.
Yeah, no, I think that's good advice. Nobody knows where the short-term future holds, but I think most people I talk to are very confident that Austin over a 10-year period is going to do really, really well. Maybe we'll have an issue in a few years, but I just don't think with all these tech companies and all these people and all this growth that the housing market is going to suffer. That just doesn't logically make any sense. So,
right. Yeah.
You're right. Take the opportunity to grow with the market. Stop saying, oh, I can't do this because this market's too crazy.
Right.
Figure out what you can do and then grow with Austin.
Correct.
Love it. Edgar, what's your favorite business or mindset book that you like to recommend to people?
What is the what again?
What's your favorite business or mindset book that you like to recommend?
Business or mindset book?
Yep. Either or.
Oh, I have I read good books, but one of the best is How to Win and Influence Friends. Mm-hmm. Is that the correct title? I don't know. But Dale Carnegie. How to Win
Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Yeah. Dale Carnegie, yes. I think that's the book that every single individual, it's a must for everyone. Either you're in business or use with your relationships, with your family, with your friends.
Yeah.
And I think that book should be in the education system to give to the kids from growing up. That book is just really changed my mindset on how to approach people and how to talk to them and how to treat them with respect and dignity. And that book is the best sales book I ever read. And they might give you strategies on the other sales books, but this one is really, really, really good. Really, really good book. Yeah.
Great book. So How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Yes.
Edgar, how can people get a hold of you if they want to learn more about your business, or maybe they have a deal they want to send over to you to look at?
I have my cell phone or my email. You wanted to give it to you, or?
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes too, but if you want to give it out right now, we're also live on Facebook here. So maybe your cell phone number and your email so people can contact you.
Yeah, the best way to send me deals would be through my email, edgar.pandainvestment@gmail.com. I'm the Panda guy with Panda Homes. And Panda Investment Firm is the name of the main company, the umbrella above Panda Homes. So that would be the best way to send me the deals. Edgar.pandainvestment@gmail.com.
Awesome.
And to reach out to me on Facebook, I show like Edgar, middle initial A, Torres. And I'm happy to help. I'm happy to share. And again, the best way I've been growing my business is through relationships, and Facebook is my number one tool to grow my business and sell my business here.
Awesome. And we'll have all that in the show notes, guys. So when this podcast comes out, you'll be able to look in the show notes and find all Edgar's contact information and how to get a hold of him. Edgar, last question here, probably the most important one we ask. What is your favorite restaurant in Austin?
The favorite restaurant there's so many good restaurants, but the one that I get my best memories is the Licha's Cantina. I'm Mexican and I love the Mexican food. And I think the people in Austin make a twist into the Mexican food. Oh, yeah. It's not Tex-Mex. It's something else. They call, what is it?
Austin Mexican.
Austin Mexican. Sometimes they call it fine Mexican, or I would say in this case Austin Mexican. It's just they make they twist the concept and they make it really good food here. And Licha's Cantina, they have really good stuff. Mm-hmm. The huarache de tuétano, which is like a bone marrow tostada, something like that, is really good. And there's a drink that they have, the Mexican Mule, which is the version of the vodka, the Moscow Mule is the Mexican Mule, I think. So it's really good drink. The vibe, the music, I really like that. So, and that's also what I love Austin, because I grew up in Mexico for 17 years, and I've been in US for 18 years already. So the culture, I'm not belong to Mexico culture anymore. Neither I belong to the USA culture, because I've been in both places for about the same time of my life. But here in Austin is a mixture of my culture. So I really love here.
Yeah. Licha's Cantina is really good. So check out Licha's Cantina. It's on 6th Street, correct?
6th Street, yeah. 6th Street, and I think very close from 35. I don't remember what is the street across, but it's in 6th Street, on the east side of 35.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Edgar. We really enjoyed having you on today. Again, anybody that wants to reach out to Edgar, it's edgar.pandainvestments@gmail.com.
Investment without the S at the end.
Oh, investment. Edgar.pandainvestment@gmail.com. Edgar A. Torres on Facebook, and we will have all his contact information in the show notes. So reach out to Edgar. He'd love to do a deal with you.
Yeah, it was great to be in the podcast, Jordan. I really appreciate it. And one more thing that I didn't mention is that right now me and my partner, I have a partner that I started doing deals here in Austin. We're looking for land to build apartments.
Oh.
Right now we are crossing our fingers to get a property that we're looking to put 60 to 120 units, depending on the best use of the land. So right now, my partner, he's doing a development in Denver, 1,400 units next to the airport. So we're looking to bring the same concept here. We're looking for lots on the opportunity zone, and also in a good zone for development into condos or apartments, or we can do single families on the large scale. So yeah, and again, relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. So reach out to Edgar if you have a lot of land that you want to sell in an opportunity zone.
Correct.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on, Edgar. We will talk here soon.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I appreciate you having me in your podcast. I really do appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.